and I've dealt with cops over this person due to sexual conduct stuff that I thought was no big deal, so I brushed it off. But the fact that it's coming back to my face and they're telling me stuff about STDs and all this mess, and this man has been with me and everybody else doing the same thing with everybody else, and I don't know how to just brush it off anymore, because it's like, what if, what if this is the person who did this to me and he's living his best life? But hey, you can't have assumptions because it just makes an ass out of you and me. That's what they say. I'll never know, right? But I just don't like seeing stuff like that. I wake up and it ruins my whole day, because I'm like, I don't think about this stuff for that reason, because I don't want to even, I can't do anything about it.
It appears that the streets have finally figured out how Diddy contracted HIV, and I promise that you are all going to be shaken. So girls, sit down and close the door. Rumor has it that Diddy had a brief affair with influencer Gina in the past, during which she supposedly infected him with HIV. Say what? Every time we believe that the mayhem is finally coming to an end, something new arises, and the scenario involving Gina is set to blow things up again. Who else did Diddy and Gina spread the virus to? And how did they actually meet? Let us dissect it. Well, it is intriguing that Gina would speak up, but since she has never hesitated to discuss her status, I suppose we should not be overly shocked. She is really among the few influencers that have spoken out about it without feeling guilty. In 2022, she came forward on her own and disclosed that she was unaware that she had HIV, and that, as a result of the prolonged lack of treatment, it progressed to AIDS. She said, all I know is that because I was so sick to the point of death, they said I had to have it for 8 to 10 years. And in that time frame, I was living in New York City and I was homeless. I did get SA'd a couple times, not something I like to talk about. We will return to the New York portion shortly, so I need you all to remember that now. Gina has shared more videos about her experiences coping with the virus since she first made her status public, such as this one with a caption, I lost all my muscle and strength due to immune system AIDS and being in a hospital bed for so long.
This will be the last time that we stand. I don't know how long we've been here, but yeah, I've got here probably about 20 minutes before you. You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Push through those legs. Come on, push. Stand up. Push through those legs. Come on, do it. Push those legs. Anyway, not bad. Not bad at all.
However, she has been working hard to improve. She also disclosed a while back that she had gone from weighing only 65 pounds to over 100 pounds. She said, so last y'all heard I was 98 pounds, right? Well, I am now 105 pounds, baby. I freaking made it. The doctor said it was actually 106 pounds. But I'm like, no, because I'm taking off one for my clothes, and my shoes. Even if it is 106, y'all, I made it. That was my goal weight. She appears to be doing well and has resumed walking independently. However, what connection does this have to Diddy? Rumor has it that Diddy may have been the one who infected Gina with HIV because he reportedly has the virus himself. This is crazy, but after Diddy was imprisoned, conspiracy theories began to gain traction. When he was out, he could easily maintain his viral load so low that no one could have guessed because he had access to his luxury doctors. Since he appeared healthy at the time, many people did not believe the rumors that were already circulating. However, it is not shocking that Diddy would supposedly have an STD or STI when you consider it. Not in a good manner, his freakoffs are legendary. The way those things go, it does not seem like they always remember to wear protection, and there have been instances of freak-off sessions that got out of control. STIs and STDs were reportedly distributed like party favors during the freak-offs, which were insane. Not to mention the reports that he reportedly infected Usher with herpes. Thus, it is true that HIV does exist, and the virus's consequences became apparent after Diddy was imprisoned and lost access to his upscale medical professionals. People could not help but notice how different Diddy looked from the beginning of the trial. That dazzling, irresistible enthusiasm that he used to have everywhere, whether he was closing red carpets or just walking the city like he owned it was, gone. Rather, he appeared older, smaller, and more worn out, as if life had really thrown a wrench in him. And no, this was not a little weight reduction. People began to whisper that this was more than simply tension because they sensed something deeper and strange. The majority initially attributed it to the pressure. Anyone, especially someone who has been enjoying the good life for decades, would have been shaken by the legal troubles he was in. This, however, felt different. People were concerned about what was left because it seemed like the shine had completely worn off. Rumors quickly spread, and as the days passed, people started to express that this felt different. It was more than simply being out of his element or missing the limelight. Some began to think that something much more profound was happening. The whispers became full-fledged conjectures. More and more people started to speculate that his appearance might be related to a serious health issue rather than being the result of aging or pressure. The idea that Diddy might be fighting HIV quickly gained traction. When the courtroom sketches were posted online, the commotion only grew louder. His visage was examined in great depth by social media users. They drew attention to his lifeless face, eyes that were worn out, and a lack of vitality that did not seem like him. The physical change was evident when people compared the actual footage and drawings to earlier pictures. In a way that aroused eyebrows, even court reporters who were present in the room commented on how strange he appeared, not only emotionally spent, but also physically lethargic. These were no longer idle rumors. With both fans and critics wondering what might actually be happening behind the scenes, it became a serious topic of discussion on the internet. When I say the internet went up in flames after that, I mean it, girl. Diddy's potential meddling was not the only topic of conversation. The true shock was the flurry of accusations that he may have spread HIV to other celebrities during those notorious freakoffs. And once that began to circulate, things became really messy because, let us face it, there is a long list of celebrities who are rumored to have attended those parties, and some of those names are very well known in the industry. It felt like a scandal waiting to happen once people began to make the connections. Diddy was not the exclusive focus anymore. The question of who might have been involved and who might have been impacted grew significantly. Hollywood already has that reputation, which only makes it worse. It is the kind of scenario where everyone eventually hooks up with everyone. The distinctions between friendships, partnerships, and hookups are so hazy that there would be significant repercussions if even a small portion of this rumor were accurate. People began to doubt the health and integrity of some of the biggest stars in the industry, in addition to Diddy's status. Then, Jaguar Wright arrived and doused the fire with gasoline. She said more than only Diddy had HIV. She asserted that he was not alone and that he had been dealing with it for some time. She claims that at least 20 other men in the field may be dealing with the same issue. The internet went into overdrive after that claim. People began rewatching clips with a completely different perspective, looking up old interviews and researching previous appearances.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
He didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did do that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game. Man. Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able to sue me.
From there, the rumors took off, and the internet launched a full-scale inquiry. In an attempt to determine who else might be involved in this mess, people began looking through Diddy's prior relationships and contacts in the industry. Usher was one name that kept coming up repeatedly. Diddy and Usher's strong relationship was instantly brought up by fans, particularly the rumors that Usher lived with him as a teenager. And all those old questions rushed back to the surface as these fresh claims swirled. However, it did not end there. In addition, other names began to be mentioned. Given how frequently Meek Mill has been spotted with Diddy in recent years, his name was mentioned. People started talking about Craig Mack again after he died in 2018 from what was said to be heart failure. They wanted to know if there was more to his story than what we were told. Not even the name of Kim Porter was off bounds. Fans have long conjectured that something was not quite right with the way things transpired, even though her death was officially attributed to pneumonia. But one name that people may have never seen coming is Gina too. Do you recall how she claimed to have contracted HIV in New York? She recently revealed that the individual who infected her with HIV is a well-known celebrity who resides in New York and leads a similar lifestyle, if you get what I mean. And Diddy is the only person who more closely matches that description. Reports state she said she was confident the person who transmitted it to her was a particular celebrity man who she had been with on and off for years and actually had feelings for. The influencer was alerted by someone she knew to an interview with the unnamed celebrity, which prompted Tu to start thinking again about how she had contracted the virus. She spoke about how she had dealt with cops over this person due to conduct and said comments she made in the interview made her think again.
And I've dealt with cops over this person due to sexual conduct. Stuff that I thought was no big deal, so I brushed it off. But the fact that it's coming back to my face and they're telling me stuff about STDs and all this mess, and this man has been with me and everybody else doing the same thing with everybody else, and I don't know how to just brush it off anymore, because it's like, what if, what if this is the person who did this to me and he's living his best life? But hey, you can't have assumptions because it just makes an ass out of you and me. That's what they say. I'll never know, right? But I just don't like seeing stuff like that. I wake up and it ruins my whole day because I'm like, I don't think about this stuff for that reason, because I don't want to even, I can't do anything about it.
It is also not shocking that Diddy would allegedly do this to Gina, given all the evidence against him, and the earlier claims that he concealed his STI status and gave Usher herpes. Although this is tragic, please share your thoughts in the comments section, and then watch this subsequent video.